Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Yoshi's Woolly World. Last time we finished up World 3 here and we did the special level here, meaning we unlocked ourselves a new type of console Yoshi, the GameCube Yoshi. Personally one of my favorite systems. I love the GameCube so much. And this system has been getting pretty popular as of late. Between all the HDMI mods for the system, whether it be plug and play things or internal mods being shared about the system, and the fact that people are just rediscovering the GameCube library. This system has been getting really popular as of late, and I'm glad to see that. GameCube is such a fun system. But in this episode, we're not here to talk about the GameCube. We're here to go ahead and continue on in World 4, moving on into monkeying round and round. I'm going to go ahead and pick the See Hidden Items badge here. We didn't really show off too much of the grab items with Yoshi's tongue badge, but to be honest, I'm not really going to be using that for the rest of this playthrough. I'm not really that big of a fan of that badge at all. It's really not that useful, and you can collect most items by just throwing a yarn ball at them. So I'd rather just do that and save the gems for some more important badges like this one. The See Hidden Items badge is going to be a very good tool to use in comparison. On this level here, we had the introduction of a new type of enemy, these monkeys here. These monkeys are kind of a bit of an annoyance, to be honest. You can't really kill them that easily. The best ways to kill them is by throwing a monkey into another monkey, or you can go ahead, throw them into a pit like I just did, or just jump on their heads. That's about it. You can't throw eggs at these guys, I won't kill them. And you also can't swallow them at all to make eggs, so these are some of the most resilient enemies in the Yoshi universe, if you want to be honest. One of the few things that can't be swallowed by Yoshi. That's so weird. But these monkeys were really weird in the Super Nintendo game, because you might recognize these guys from Yoshi's Island on the Super Nintendo. And they were a little buggy, I'm not gonna lie. The Super Nintendo only had a certain amount of memory to allocate to games, and in Yoshi's Island there were too many monkeys on screen. It would overload the system's memory, causing some things to just despawn in levels. So there'd be some levels that'd be really hard to 100% because there'd be too many monkeys on screen, deloading things like flowers and the red coins in the game, and that's just no fun. I don't know if they fixed this issue with the GBA version of Yoshi's Island. I would imagine they did, because that was a pretty big issue back in the day on the Super Nintendo. I never really played the GBA version of Yoshi's Island. I played the Super Nintendo version, and I thought that was a pretty good game in general, but I don't think I ever really want to play the GBA version outside of trying out the special levels that they added to that one. I'm not a fan of screen crunch in a lot of games, and Yoshi's Island, on the GBA in particular, definitely known for that issue. For those of you who don't know what screen crunch is, that basically just means that they zoom in the screen a lot, so you mainly just see the character you're playing as on screen. So because of that, you lose out on a lot of the extra detail in levels, which makes things a lot harder to see. Zooming out things makes things a lot easier to see in general. Another reason why I'm not too big of a fan of the 3DS version of this game, don't get me wrong, the 3DS version of Yoshi's Woolly World is really good, but it does zoom things in a little bit more than the Wii U version simply because it's on a handheld. And that does make seeing certain things a little bit harder, so some things may creep up on you a little bit easier on the 3DS version compared to the Wii U version of the game. But to be fair, a lot of games back in the day on the GBA though, if they got ported from the Super Nintendo over to the Game Boy Advance, they definitely had a screen crunch issue. And that's just simply because back then, you were developing games on a much smaller screen. So in order to translate a console game over to a handheld, they needed to zoom things in by a lot. There was no other way around it. Which is the unfortunate thing there, but it makes sense why they did it. A lot of games I do remember playing that were console games on the GBA were things like Super Mario Advance, which was basically Super Mario Bros. 2 USA. And then I also played Link to the Past on the GBA as well, which I was definitely able to tell since I played a lot of the original Super Nintendo version that things were definitely more zoomed in than they were on the Super Nintendo version on GBA, if that makes sense. I can just definitely tell looking at it, things were a little more zoomed in than they needed to be at times, making things a little bit harder on the player. But that's the cost you pay for translating a console game over to a handheld. It just kind of happens. Luckily, the Switch hasn't really been doing that since the Nintendo Switch is a portable system from Nintendo, but it's also a console. So I believe all the games they're developing on there, they're pretty much developing as they were basically a console game. Hence why they're not really that zoomed in at all. And I'm very glad to see that because I don't want to have a game that's just way too close to my character. I can't really see what's going on. I'm glad that kind of trope has basically gone away in games at this point. Now there's a new trope of let's make the text so small in video games that unless you're literally leaning on the screen, you probably can't read it. That's a trope I wish wouldn't be a case. That's kind of annoying. A lot of more modern games nowadays shrink the text so small it's really hard to read from a distance. I don't like that. Some games, sure, they give you an option to increase the font, but then there's a lot of them, I swear, they were developed for like a high-end PC monitor, but then when they made the shift over to the console versions of games, they just never upped the text size, making it way harder to read certain things in games, and I'm never a fan of that, personally. Just make it so I can read it from my couch on like a 55-inch TV. Please. I don't want to literally lean on the 55-inch screen to read. That's not a good thing. Don't do that. Wow, I just talked about a whole bunch of random things that we still 100% this level. That's why I wanted to get through the first level of World 4. But that was everything. And we got the bonus game, too. Not bad. Good job, GameCube Yoshi. I didn't really mention it, but look at the back of Yoshi's head here. He has all the different things from a GameCube controller. He's got the gray tip on the top of the joystick. The A and B buttons there are color-coded on his head, green and red. Then he got the little yellow part on his back for the C-stick. It's a really nice touch. Then on the front, you can even see the 4 GameCube ports, too. I just love how expressive these console Yoshis are. They basically show off every cool thing that the console has. And I feel like the GameCube Yoshi is the first one that really gets to show it, because the Wii and the Wii U Yoshis, they're very basic in design because those systems are very basic looking in general. They're basically just a white or black box, depending which version you had. So, yeah, not as expressive as, say, like the GameCube was. So, the GameCube Yoshi, honestly, is probably one of the first Yoshi that really do show off how expressive these game console Yoshis really are in the game. I do like how all these Yoshis look. They're very expressive. And it wasn't that bad for the first bonus of World 4. 3100 beats, I'll take it. Yeah, that was the first level. That's not that bad. Let's see what type of Yoshi we get for beating this level with all the yarn collected. Oh, we already have more stamps. Interesting. Can't use them, but hey, they're nice to look at. So for getting all the yarn here in 4-1, we unlocked ourselves the Jungle Yoshi. Not a bad looking Yoshi design if I do say so myself. I mean, it definitely looks like a jungle with the patterns it has. The nose is the only weird thing because you got that big patch of green on the very center of it. Wow, that was a weird lag spike. I don't know where that came from. Hopefully that doesn't continue. Now it's time to go into Lakitu Peekaboo. You can already tell what type of enemy we're going to be finding here. So this level actually has a couple different auto-scrolling sections in it. And we're going to want to definitely be careful of that because, as you can see here in the auto-scrolling section, they put these crushing blocks here, and that's not good. We want to avoid these things at all costs. We can stay on top of it just like this, but we do not want to get underneath these things. They definitely will kill us in one shot. Very heavy. We go ahead and grab this bead. Throw an egg over here. Eat you. And throw another egg. Pretty good first start here. There's not much we can really do here. As you can see, it's just kind of a waiting game. But to be fair, it's an auto-scroller. What do you expect? There's not much we can really do to speed things up. We kind of just let the level play out. You do have to rush in some of these sections, though, because as you've seen there, just to get the flower, they don't really give you too much time to get to it. So you definitely need to be paying attention here and be ready to jump. If you feel like you can't get that flower, there's not really that big of a worry because you can throw an egg at it, which will collect the flower as well. So if you feel like you're not going to be able to make it over to where the flower is, throw one of your yarn bowl eggs at it, and then you should be fine. Barely had enough time there to get that piece of yarn. So that was really close. I'm glad we got it. These guys are good egg supply. I mean, we don't really have too many eggs here, so I might as well just use these guys to make more. Well, there's a flower. Definitely want that. The middle one's the only real cloud you need to hit since the progression, but the other two are important to hit too. Especially for that flower. I need it for 100% after all, so gonna need to hit it regardless. Gonna ground pound here to go through the ground. Wait for you to get ready to do something and then just eat ya. In cloud here. Break it open, get a spring, and it reveals a whole bunch of beads up here. One of them being a stamp bead, so we definitely needed that. And down here, you want to kill 2 of these guys, bleed the last one. Gonna wait for him to come back, bounce off his head, and then I can reach the pipe. You can't really reach the pipe without that guy, so you need to keep him alive and then bounce off the Lakitu's head. But here has another bead that we needed for the stamps, so if you don't care about the stamps, that area is entirely optional. But I need it. Part of my 100% definition. I'm gonna be very careful how far down I fall here, because I want to be able to grab this piece of the wall which has a flower in it. So, you want to go ahead and ground pound through this stuff, then hold up to stop. If you feel like that's gonna be a little too hard on you to do, then you could just throw an egg down there instead, which will also break the floor, and also give you a little more control where you're going. So, if you don't feel confident about stopping ground pounds, just throw a yarn ball egg, and that should be perfectly fine. We hit the checkpoint, and going to this next door is our second auto-scroller to level. This one is really dangerous, because one wrong move here, and you're getting crushed, which will kill you. So be paying attention here, because you do not want to be crushed. There's a lot of beads we need to go ahead and collect in this area. So be paying a lot of attention, grab the beads, and I think I already screwed up. Yep, there goes a bead. Well, I have 1 of 2 options. Replay the level for health, or replay the level for beads. Looks like it's gonna be health. That's not good. Now I need to eat the shy guy immediately and get his egg. It's the only way I'll be able to hit that cloud that has the flower. So I gotta be quick here. There we go. Now I need to save this egg. Wait for these platforms to come down. I'm gonna grab this bead here first. Alright, that barely made it. I don't want to chance this. Oh, I'm gonna have to chance this again. Get out! Oh, come on, I barely missed. As you can see, you barely have enough time to get both the flower and that stamp over there. So, this level may be a good idea for you just to replay through, get one item, and then come back for the other. Since the levels do say what items you do grab, you don't have to worry about getting everything in one go. You can get things in multiple tries if you really want to. But because I keep on dying, I'm getting multiple tries, so I might as well just try it. Let's rush over here this time. Get the bead. Now let's get the flower. There we go. Now I just gotta wait for the rest of the level to fall, and then we should be able to get out of here. Let's leave. Luckily, there's nothing else we gotta worry about over on the left, because our See Hidden Items badge would have told us about something by now, but there was nothing. So now I gotta be careful. I do have enough hearts, I believe, in this section to actually get 20. Checkpoint gave me 15, and then there should be a hidden cloud somewhere to give us more health. That's usually how things go in these levels. So I should be okay in health in theory. I just gotta be careful not to get hit. If I get hit at all, there goes my perfect run. I'm gonna go ahead and eat you guys because I don't trust myself. See what I mean? I didn't trust myself and I already got hit. So, there goes the perfect run. It's fine. I'll replay through the levels, not too big of a deal. But man, we were so close. Especially after coming back from being crushed like 4 times. We were so close. Yeah, here's the hearts. So I'm missing 5, and I don't know if there's any more. So I think we're pretty much done with hearts. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and just get the rest of these collectibles. Don't really worry about the health. Let me just grab this, and now we have our final thing of yarn. Eat the Lakitu, because I'm angry at you. And no bead left behind. Even though we don't need it, it bugs me. So it's definitely going to come with us. Alright, let's go ahead. Get some more eggs in here. Gotta definitely just get rid of you. Throw this down to a VR path. And get me another stamp bead. Throw this up. Hit the cloud. Gives us a trampoline. Now right here, gonna want to go ahead and just eat you. Get you out of the way. Now you can jump here, which will take you back up to the top. So if you feel like you missed something, they give you multiple chances to go back to the top. That's one of them. Here's another. And in fact, this tricks you. Because if you don't have that See Hidden Items badge on, you wouldn't be able to see this wall glowing. So you wouldn't really think that this is a hidden wall. You actually need to come over here, hit this cloud, and that will reveal the way out of this level. This is the way for progression. Even more to the left, though, is another piece of hidden wall, which gives us our final flower. And there you go. We need one more bead for the stamps, and it's right here. So that's it. Now I just have to replay through the level again just to get my health. It's not too big of a deal. I'll go ahead and definitely do that off screen. Or, you know, the usual speed up thing, just with no commentary. But we'll go ahead and just do that here real quick, and we'll be good to go with 4-2. We got everything else though, at least, so now I just have to go ahead and play the level fast. That's not too bad. So, for getting all the yarn here in 4-2, we unlock ourselves another type of Yoshi. The Lakitu Yoshi. This thing looks like it's got no sleep. Those eyes are very black, like you just got maybe like 5 minutes worth. And that was it. I feel bad for the guy, he looks sleep deprived. Get some sleep, Lakitu Yoshi, you're gonna need it. For now, let's go ahead and make our way into the Amiibo hut. And let's see what Amiibo Yoshi we're gonna go and use. So if we're going to be playing back through a level with a bunch of Lakitus, let's go ahead and deal with the one character that has dealt with Lakitus in the past. Luigi Yoshi. We gotta use Mario Yoshi for this as well, but Luigi also dealt with Lakitus on a number of occasions. I mean, he was there for Super Mario Bros. 1. Everyone remember 4-1 in that game? It was Lakitu following you from start to finish. That's probably one of the most infamous levels with Lakitu. So I'm pretty sure Luigi has the qualifications to go through this level. It's perfectly fine. So let's just go ahead and make our way back through 4-2, get the health. Doesn't really matter what badge you choose, so I'm going to go in with no badge. And I'll see you guys on the other side. The auto scrolls in this level really aren't that bad when you're not going after those collectibles. That makes things so much easier not have to worry about collectibles in that second auto scroller. I died so many times just trying to get one single bead and one flower. Go back through there without worrying about a single thing, not even a worry. That's a big difference. But there you go. That's 4-2 down, and now we got 100% here. So, I think with that, I'm gonna go ahead and call the episode on that note. Next time on Let's Play Yoshi's Woolly World, we'll continue on here in World 4. I'll see you guys next time.